Welcome back. It's After the Roll. After ages of being offline, we've resurrected our D&D talk show. We've found, I guess, new life, new fire in our D&D campaign with a new DM. So we thought we would try some, I don't know, something that we used to do and see what everybody thinks about how the show's been going and if they're enjoying everything, and see what everybody else thinks out there.
You could say something old, something new. Questions are borrowed. Meridius is blue.
And this is why you should be a bard.
No, I second that. And oh, God damn it.
Well, I'm DrDiz. I'm going to host After the Roll. It used to be Clandiesel, but since he's the DM, we swapped out. And when we go back to the other campaign, I'm the DM. We'll probably swap again there, and he'll be the host. Thanks for the sub there. Like I said, I'm DrDiz, and to my right, I have Clandiesel, our DM, or not actually here as the Forgotten. To my left, I have Double Aught Buck, who plays Meridius, the Paladin, keeps us all in line. And then just below me to my right is Lady Chaotic. She just joined this crew here. You were part of the other one, but you just joined this one now. So she's been here 2 episodes, I think, so far, 2 sessions.
Yeah. Two. I have a correction to Clan's opening then.
Uh-huh.
Meridius is something old.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I forget her fucking name.
Hey.
Thank you. Is
you know what's
something
the face
new
over here? Yeah.
Something borrowed is Clan as a DM instead of a player, and then Trix is the something blue.
There you go.
There you go.
Like it.
All 4
and
of us
playing
covered.
Trix is Ellen.
I get it because her name Trix, and also she played Trix. It's funny.
And personally, I appreciate what you're doing with Trix. I got to watch a lot of our episodes over the past couple of days, making notes, and I thoroughly, I really enjoyed the voice and the, I don't know, her.
She's a chaos gremlin.
Just her aura, the entirety of Trix. Especially when Desmond walked up and was like, "Oh shit, make a distraction," and you're like, "I got you." So,
what did I even do? I don't remember.
I don't think anything actually happened there, but you were ready for it. So.
Oh yeah, I was gonna blow something up, and then somebody told me not to.
So I've made a list of there. So we're just gonna go over. Clandiesel here has been DMing for 7 episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 episodes actually. We thought it was like 5 or something, but it actually 7.
I thought it was less than that. It feels like it's just.
I know, like right?
It just happened. Yeah.
So, what did you guys think about the DM swap around? Like, did anybody suspect anything?
No, and I was a little behind. I was a little behind everybody realizing what had happened.
Okay.
I was sitting there and I was like, what the fuck changed? Nothing changed. Just looking at Zoom like, what big change are they talking about?
Now, Buck had to have realized something was up because, I mean, he always picks up on these things.
That's true.
I may have had my suspicions. When there was at least, and I kid you not, chat, 9 Discord meetings that the 2 of them had, that the only one that could see they were in a channel was me, and I was not invited.
You knew something was up. Something secret.
They work together. There's no reason for them to be hiding in a Discord channel.
This is true. This is true.
I'm not stupid. I just wasn't exactly sure what was transpiring there.
And Lady wasn't here for the swap, but you've got to play a few sessions with Clandiesel as the DM. How is that going for you?
Yeah, so obviously, like in the old campaign that's kind of on hold right now. Like obviously, I experienced you as a DM, and now I'm experiencing Clan, and there are like some subtle differences. Like I feel like you are so used to it, you know, like what you're going for and what to expect. Clan, I feel like will get like a random thing that he's just not really expecting, and he just goes with it. Like he's just like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
So
And
off the wall.
it's kind of funny because it's you don't know what the hell is gonna happen with Clan, which I guess kind of makes it a little interesting. Like you can kind of guess, but also sometimes you can't. I think it makes it interesting as a player,
it's
though.
like
I think it's
like when
good.
you would say shit in Cataclysm as you guys were co-DMing, and Diz would be like, "Oh, gotta make a note and change the world's lore for a second." Stan said something off the wall.
Oh, and obviously I'm not used to the very generous XP, you know, because Clan loves to give XP.
Exactly. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Rick says, "I don't care how big the room is. I cast fireball."
Exactly.
Thank you, Clan.
You're welcome. I gave that amount of experience because I knew that's what you needed in order to get to fireball.
So,
yeah.
Clandiesel, what do you think about all this? 7 episodes in.
7 episodes in.
You're able to do whatever you want. I've given you my storyline that I've written.
Yeah,
I've written, and I've told you can take it wherever you want to. I said, here's what I had in mind. You can do whatever you want with that. So
yeah, I try to stay within the margins of the story that you have set out, and it's important. I'm not doing it just because I'm not creative or whatever. I'm doing it because there's certain points in the story that interact with the other campaign as well. So they're running adjacent to each other. So one campaign affects the other one. So there's some things that can't be, changed or whatever. But I didn't know that I would like it as good as I do. Like I was really scared the first couple of episodes because I was like, well, everybody's used to Diz and how Diz DMs, but I know that we're very similar on the rule calls that we would do, but there are some things that we differ on. And then some things that I didn't know that we were like on the like today we were talking about the attuning to stuff. And I think in an episode not too long ago, somebody got a magic item and they like, do I need to attune to it? And I was like, no. I mean, it's a magic item. Have at it.
And we were talking about, I personally hate the attunement rule. I wish you could just equip whatever you wanted. So
yeah. So and sometimes I don't go by the letter of the rule. That's like in the, this is how this spell operates, or this is how this ability operates, as long as I feel like it's more effective for the story for it to go this way than it does another. So, but yeah, I really enjoy it. My problem, like I was telling you, before we made the switch, and honestly, the switch was a surprise to me. It was not planned at all. But I was telling Diz, it's like, I've been playing D&D as a player for like 6 going on 7 years straight. And I like it, I like, improving and hanging out with you guys and everything, but I was getting burned out on just being a player.
And so I was getting burned out on basically writing, directing, producing a TV show every 2 weeks.
Exactly. So
while also running a daycare service.
Yes.
Yep. So he was like, hey, why don't we switch and I'll bring a character into the campaign and then you can DM it. I was like, are you sure you want to do that? And he's like, sure. So we did it. And I think it's went okay. I mean, I've not had anybody message me going, hey, you suck, or that call you made was bullshit, or, anything like that. Everybody's been super nice and seems like they're having fun.
I think you were the only one nervous about the transition.
We'll get to those points in just a few minutes, okay?
Yeah. That's fine. But yeah, so I mean, so far I like it. I enjoy it. You know, like you said, you told me I go a little bit faster on things than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But like you were like, but I enjoy that you're going faster.
I feel like sometimes I'm a little too subtle with things, and you are not.
No,
You are the opposite of that. So
if I want them to experience something, I will put a big, huge neon sign, and if they still don't see it, I'll drag their ass over to it.
yep.
Like,
So
Whether
there's-
it causes an
important.
existential crisis or not.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like they may
It is true.
may not get
And
there where
we
I want
will
them
touch
to,
on that in just a
but
few
they'll
minutes
get
for
there
sure.
eventually. They'll get there eventually. But yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, like I said, way more than I thought I would.
It's good. I'm glad everybody seems to be enjoying it. There is the other side of the coin to this. I became a player in this, and the issue there is I know extensively about the world, the story, the puzzles, everything. So I don't know if you
Except
guys
when I screw
noticed.
something up.
Yeah, true.
You know,
We're like,
if we're
It's
ever
not that.
playing and you guys notice that Diz is there, Diz is in the Zoom call going. He's like, that motherfucker.
Not how I wrote it.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but while we're playing, I will interact with the role playing quite a bit, but I do not insert myself to guide the party on where they're going next. And I usually, if there is any type of riddles or something like that, if I've been involved in any of the creation, I make sure I'm reclused from that, and you guys get to figure those out and stuff like that. Also, I play a drunkard kind of, so I mean, he's only
Say, you wrote
partially
the
present at
perfect
any
character
time.
for that.
So, speaking about that, so right after that happened, we introduced my character Desmond and Mario's character Thorn. So, what do you guys think of those characters so far?
I love that just so quickly it was like, oh yeah, Thorn and Desmond are off hooking up with this pirate chick so quickly. Oh, it's great.
Thorn and Desmond are like what I would like to call the Eiffel Tower of power.
I don't know how to feel about them yet, but the fact that they were the first two people that actually met Faye when she came into the game, I was like,
Makes
oh
complete
god.
sense.
It's like, oh boy. Because obviously I'd heard a little bit about what the characters were, but I don't know them fully. And my character is very different. So it's like, it was very interesting to be like, oh, these are the first two I've met. Oh boy.
I've really put Desmond out there. Like there are character traits probably that you haven't seen yet, but a lot of he's very over the top. Thorn, on the other hand, is a little more reserved. Like he'll put himself in there, but we don't know. I feel like I don't know as much about him. And
Yeah,
Buck, jump in here. What do you think of Desmond? I mean, you and Desmond have kind of butted heads a little bit. Not full on argument, but I think there's been a little tension there.
I disagree with what Ellen said earlier. You're not the one babysitting.
No.
I
That's
babysit
a fair
the
objection.
entire fucking
Sustained.
party.
Sustained.
I have to keep my head on a fucking swivel with every one of you people.
Don't count me out yet, okay? I'm learning.
Oh, me? Never. Never.
You befriended the worst two of the party as soon as you
I've only
joined,
been
lady.
here for 2 episodes. I don't really know anybody. I literally met you guys and then I went and fought with you guys. Like that's the extent of my like experience with y'all. Like I'm just like, yeah, okay, I ain't got nothing else better to do. Let's go fight some shit.
I
Like,
only set off one stink bomb, Meridius. Only one.
Besides, you guys are Team Fish Tricks.
We're besties, remember?
No, that's not how that works.
Well, Trix thinks it does.
So beyond those two characters, there is a third character that came along, and it's not Faye. We haven't got there yet. Orlando. Now tell me Orlando's not your favorite character in the game.
I love
I'm
Orlando
convinced
so much.
Orlando's like a lich or something. And he's just fucking with Desmond. No, wait, is Desmond a warlock? Maybe that's his patron in disguise.
I love the theories.
I love him.
Orlando's homunculus.
Orlando has a big secret. I'm predicting it now. One day we'll restore his speech and it's gonna be fucking great.
My favorite part
Mhm.
about Orlando is Clan's like interpretive grunt noises that he makes for every like interaction.
Wasn't
he
planned.
has.
It wasn't
it's
planned
just, like,
either.
That was not planned at all.
It's so funny, like, because sometimes it's just a normal like, and then all of a sudden like something weird will happen, and you'll give it some like flair or whatever, and it's just so funny. It's hilarious.
He's
I always
got
loved
some
in the
personality,
Star
right?
Wars where they could understand the droids, or Han and Chewbacca, or stuff like that.
It's very much like Han and
Diz-
Chewbacca, like it's got
Yeah.
that kind of vibe.
Diz,
Yep.
this is Rocket and Groot.
Yeah, Rocket and Groot. I love that.
Because Groot only really says one phrase, and so does Orlando.
Yep. I can't wait for you guys to learn more about Orlando. It's gonna be so much fun.
I wanted to get like Pinky in the Brain style, where Orlando will grunt, and you'll be like, "Well, I don't know, Orlando. I don't think we can find rubber pants our size."
Yeah, that'd be great.
The comedy is endless there. So
Mhm.
Maybe
Yes.
Orlando will one day kill us all. It's fine.
And
It's something
my
not
favorite
gonna happen.
line about
possibility.
Orlando was Trix questioning. I asked Orlando something. He grunts at me, and I say something to the party, and I say something about Orlando. You're gonna have to check your information. All this misinformation is killing us, or something. And Trix is like, "Where is he getting this information?" And I say, "I don't know where he gets his information. He's tapped in." And
He's like tapped into the secret society somewhere.
Yep.
I love it.
that's my favorite part so far.
Yep.
Oh.
I feel like I'm going to be forced to fight him.
Maybe.
And
we
Battle
we don't
for
know what he is.
supremacy.
I don't mean Meridius having to fight him.
Like Buck's gonna fight Clandiesel?
No, I'm saying I think poor JD's gonna have to fight another fucking machine when he meets the party, because he's already had to fight two, and y'all are bringing a third onto this fucking continent.
It's fine.
It'd be all right.
And JD's fighting one that's in his own party.
You didn't
Crazy
almost
bastard.
die the first time. It's fine.
Right.
I still
Good
had
guy.
plenty of life.
I was not happy with that. That was scary. That was scary.
All right. So while that's going on, and still this is before Faye got here. So Spoofy begins to medicate Keltash. And this is an ongoing thing. So Lady Faye, you may have seen this. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I can't remember if they did in the past 2 episodes, but he continues to experiment on Keltash.
I heard him talk about like upping his dosage for. I think we were in a role play moment, and he talked about upping his dosage for something, and I was just like, "What the hell?" Like I was like, "Is he?" And that's kind of when I first realized that that was a thing, but I still don't like know the extent to it like in character. But then I realized I was like, "Oh, he's like medicating Keltash." Like that's kind of funny.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
That is some
Keltash,
insight on what some of the drugs
Except
are. And it's great.
There's a small problem with what's happening right now, though. Keltash has already made the claim that he wants to stop all of the medication. And Spoofy hasn't been told. So
I know,
Spoofy
right?
is still in the process of trying to improve on what he's already done.
And Spoofy to me seems, I don't know. I don't feel like Spoofy has Keltash his best interest in mind with this. I think it's more of just a science experiment for him.
Listen, Trix has yet to see any documentation confirming that Spoofy is actually a doctor. I'm just saying.
Keltash was kind of like that willing participant to his like love for medicine and science, and he's willing, and Spoofy doesn't care. I feel like that's kind of like the dynamic that they have.
Mm-hmm. He is a
He's a
doctor.
So, some little backstory on the character of
Prove it, Tim.
Keltash. I had another D&D game that only lasted, I think, 16 episodes or something like that. It ran from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So it was bound to, have issues. So, but Keltash was in that game for a while. And when Russ joined this game, I asked anybody if they wanted to bring any of those characters over because I felt bad because the game didn't go very far. And I think he is the only one who brought a character over, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he brought over Keltash. It is a similar version, but slightly different. So, yeah. So let's see.
Russ's characters are always great.
They are.
Yeah.
And
They
Russ's
really are.
impulse control issues in every character just work out so
Yes.
beautifully.
Yes.
And
Always paying attention to what Russ does.
about Keltash's character, he was involved in the next little part here where you guys met the information broker.
Ah, yes.
A character near and dear to Clandiesel's heart. So where does the information where does that come from, Clandiesel? Where did this character spawn from? Because he's not mine. I did not write this character. So
no, but I was like, okay, so there are times where the party doesn't exactly know where to go. There's no clear connection point between everything. And then sometimes it's just fun to have a nice character that, with the information broker, can seemingly break the fourth wall.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. So that's where he came from. It was like, okay, so this guy, the party knows they have to go around the world to collect these artifacts and whatever to try to save the world, right? They're doing their part, unbeknownst about the other party doing their part. All connected. So it's like, well, what's a nice, clean way to do that? So I was like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a character that seemingly knows way more than what anyone else does. Like, he knows the characters. He seemingly knows their backstories. He knows where they're broken. And he can use it.
Mm-hmm. And in that, he makes a couple of deals with the characters.
He does. He will give you the thing about the information broker, and he said this when they met him. He doesn't care what's happening. Like, he is true neutral as far as that goes. He's just he is just interested in information. He wants to know everything that's going on. He wants to know everything that he can. Eventually, I'm sure that the reason for that will be revealed. But as of right now, there is. And so a couple of characters, they were Meridius and Keltash, asked for information, which he was willing to give for a price. Now, the thing about the information broker is that he doesn't
feel like
deal in gold.
I feel like Meridius here, it was an expansion of his character, because I haven't seen anything like that from Meridius before. Like, he was willing to sacrifice something there to get what he needed to complete the mission.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember too, this is catch up for everybody that hasn't watched The Forgotten since we brought it back. Meridius is a man on a mission. He is just a part of the guild in this group to kind of further the mission along. Is the way that I take it. So he asks specifically, you know, who is this? Who are they? Who are these people working?
And
the information
the
broker
answer,
provided.
The answer was a name that
from the past.
some of us might recognize.
Yep. Cy Lauren.
Oh
Actually, no,
yeah, I forgot. I forgot that was said. I couldn't
So,
remember
Buck,
how to spell
what
his
did you
name,
think
so I didn't
about
write
that
it down.
name?
But as the player of Meridius knows nothing.
Meridius doesn't know anything, but you might remember some stuff.
But as a person,
yeah,
his name's getting thrown around way too much between my two characters. And when they finally join, somebody's might give information or might not, depending on how the conversation plays out. Because
another
that name
name
has been put through passing too many times.
Another name came up with Cy Lauren's name there. Do you remember what other name was kind of associated with Cy Lauren?
I mean, there's only one name associated with Cy Lauren. And he's a ruler of hell, chat, whether he wants to believe it or not.
He is not. He is a very nice man.
He's a cult leader.
There is that association.
Nice man.
But the information broker brought up the name the Forgotten Queen.
I mean, I have all the things written down.
Yeah.
The problem that, like, y'all are talking about seeing something different from Meridius, it's not really a difference, because like you said, I have a mission. The guild is there for me to have, I guess the best way to look at it, access to resources in this plane that I would not have by myself.
They're your sugar mamas.
And so I'm getting, I guess, linked in with transportation, information, people that could potentially assist to get me where I have to be. That's the only reason I joined the guild to start with. It wasn't to help save this plane of existence.
Are you concerned about the favor that might be asked of you later?
It depends. Because with everything he's losing or potentially going to lose, that favor's not even in the forefront of his mind compared to it. Because he's lost or is potentially losing more than probably anything that the information broker could bargain from him.
And we had another character make a deal with the broker. I think he got the worst deal compared to Meridius's. Clan, do you remember what the deal was that the broker made with the Keltash?
Yeah, it was that, if I remember correctly, the information broker had to give him information about his sister.
Yep. And something else as well.
Ooh, something else. I remember the part about the sister.
Yeah. And he told him that he wasn't alone.
That's right. Yeah, it's the information broker told him that he wasn't alone. That was right. I thought that was like the bonus that the information broker told him.
Something. And none of the player characters know this. The players got to hear it, but the player characters were actually out of that area. I don't know if it was another dimension or world, where they were at. So another plane of existence, but he actually transports Keltash to what appears to be inside of Keltash's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little interaction there with whatever parasitic or,
Well, he said he wasn't a parasite.
Yeah.
Well, but I can't say we. At least one of us knows about this entity. Because Keltash and Meridius had to talk about it in a later episode.
Yep.
He
There's
just didn't
been
go into full
some
detail of what
things
he's seen.
about it. Yeah, there's been some things about it here and there.
Because I caught him doing something that didn't make any fucking sense.
Yep.
Mm. But the information broker tells, I guess, kind of introduces them together, and we find out the name of whatever this is Devora. And he also tells him that the information broker tells Keltash that his sister is okay. He doesn't tell him anything else about his sister. And I don't know if you guys know much or anything about that as characters.
I don't know that Trix has ever heard him talk about his sister.
Yeah.
I don't think that he has talked with anybody really about his sister.
His sister was brought up. See who was with him. His sister was brought up when we were in the Underdark.
Mornside.
In the apothecary.
Yep.
I was a statue at that point.
Right. But Meridius was there and somebody else was there because I didn't leave that room until Trix was able to move. See, Spoofy was there. So me and Spoofy were there when he was having that conversation.
Yeah, there was a little bit of backstory there. His deal, though, with the broker, I feel was worse because it's almost like he was kind of, if he lied to the broker or if he refused to do anything the broker asked of him, the broker said he would kill him. So, and I'm not sure how much power he has, to be honest, because Clandiesel made this character. I have no information about.
Well, I mean, to be
what
fair,
it can do.
The way Russ handled that whole interaction, he made Keltash the broker's bitch.
It's true.
But would it be Keltash if he didn't make a shitty deal, though?
It's true.
True. Also, the broker would know how aloof Keltash is. So I'm guessing that the added fear, was to kind of keep him in line. Now, he didn't have to do that with Meridius because in my mind, the information broker would automatically assume, I guess, that Meridius thinks, well, this thing's on me. So if I don't do what he asked me to do, there'll be consequences. Keltash is more, like it's like a dog treat that the information broker is waving in front of his head. If you don't do this, I'm gonna smack you with the paper towel here.
So Faye has no idea about any of this stuff. Do you think she would be concerned if she knew some of these things that's happened and is currently happening to the party?
I mean, I feel like if the party knew what Meridius is dealing with internally, that most of them would either not want to follow him or question how far he's going to go before he says to hell with this realm and breaks apart from the guild altogether, knowing what he's dealing with. But none of them really know except for Mordecai, who's no longer with me.
Trix was a little bit.
Or
Not
was
all
that
of it,
him
but
that
she
showed
did.
up? There was an outline with you.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying he's not with me as far as like for the party.
Was it Mordecai? That's the question.
Fucking
But
Pinos.
whether it was or not, the demon's not happy, and to Meridius, that's all that matters.
That's true. That's true. Did you like that shadow thing?
I mean, I want to know what the fucking shadow in my room is.
I know, but I like the ending on the shadow.
Because I'll fight that bitch if I have to.
So
My
you're jumping
question
ahead a
is-
little bit to the shadow. Well, so
Yeah.
that which is fine. But in that, so what did you think about that whole interaction? But because you've had interactions with the Trident before, but this one was a little different.
Well, I mean, like I said, Meridius has a major concern on his mind. He's trying to stick to what he's here for, but his family's in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's affecting or moving around the Trident that he's noticing is adding to the concern of his family. And even though the mission he's here for, that has absolutely nothing to do with these ruins, his family's more important. I mean, to be fair, in some instance, in some part of his mind, he would watch all of Faroon, Os, this whole plane burn if that meant he saves the souls that are trapped, that his family is suffering right now. Because he has no allegiance to anyone here. But
So then that brings up two questions.
Every time something happens involving his weapon and them, it causes him more, I guess, internal anger that he has to try to keep in check.
Yeah. So now my questions, though, are one, are there other people in the party that will eventually ask the information broker for information? Because everybody, I think, has at least one question that they would like to ask and get an answer to. And he'll give them the answer. Two, now that Meridius, Buck has said, about Meridius, if it came down to it, will Meridius sacrifice one or more of the party to free his family?
Well, let's start with the first question.
Yep.
Ellen, do you think Trix would sacrifice something to get more answers? Because we've seen that Trix definitely wants answers.
Mm-hmm.
She's a bit confused about what she's been told so far.
I don't think she'd sacrifice anybody in the group except maybe Faye or Thorn or Desmond. Sorry, they're new. But
not Orlando? You're gonna keep Orlando?
yeah, she's gonna keep Orlando. She's
Okay.
concerned about his working
would too.
conditions.
I would
She's
too.
gonna buy him new shoes.
He has a heart of gold.
But no, she wouldn't sacrifice somebody from the party, but she definitely wouldn't be opposed to taking risks or doing something drastic to get the information she's looking for.
And Lady, what about Faye? Faye doesn't know about the information broker yet, but I'm sure she will get to meet him at some point. You think she would, and not so much sacrifice the party, but sacrifice, parts of herself?
I think it really is going to come down to when Faye meets the information broker and like what she knows. Because obviously a lot of people don't know a lot about Faye right now, but a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot she doesn't even know. To where I don't think she actually has the information she needs to even ask the questions that she needs to ask or sacrifice something for. Like right now, I don't think there's anything that she wants to know to sacrifice anything like that for. She's still very aloof in where her current status is, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. And the party doesn't even really know her at this point. So yeah, and she doesn't know herself. So, but I'm sure by the time we get back around to him, they'll have some experience under their belt. Maybe some questions will come up. So now the second question was, will Meridius sacrifice somebody in the party to save his relatives in the Trident?
I think he's proven already that the ones under his command, so to speak, are coming even before his own issues.
But he argues when we call him dad.
No, that's not what he argues about. The other name.
Fish Daddy.
That one was not me.
Oh.
I am innocent of that one.
Fish sticks, isn't it? What Keltash calls you, fish sticks.
I mean,
So-
I've in before all these new people showed up, the original people that left Oz, Meridius would be the last out of wherever we were. I took a beating a few times to get people out of a place alive. So he doesn't let the people that he's protecting in that regard get hurt for the hell of it. But as far as an allegiance goes, he isn't really bound to any of them in anything more than they're with him, and he's trying to keep them protected. But he only he gave his word and pretty much an oath to one person, and that one person is no longer here.
True.
Because
I
he
think-
told the guild leader that he would do anything in his power to ensure that Mordecai made it back in one piece. And Mordecai left him.
Mm-hmm. I think there's even more to this with Meridius. There may be some trust issues with Meridius in the party, at least some of the new members. Because when you came out of Clandiesel, you put us in the room there where Meridius had the interaction with the Trident and the Shadow. When you came out of that, you heard some noises coming from Desmond's room in that direction, and you cast Divine Sense.
Well, that was before I entered the Trident.
Oh, so that was before. So,
yeah. Because Faye had a conversation with you. You did whatever you were doing. I heard it. After I Divine Sense, I turned and looked at my Trident, and that's when everything kicked off, and I had my little interaction with my weapon. But the big problem that Meridius has is always going to be a trust issue. The man that he viewed as a brother, the closest thing to a brother he could ever have, betrayed him and got the closest thing he would ever have to a father after 3 killed. And nobody in the party knows any of this. No one's talked to Meridius about any part of his past, except for the one that left him. So
True.
His brother betrays him. His next closest friend leaves him with a group of people that he barely even has met, except for Keltash, who constantly tries to undermine him every time we turn around. So yeah, Meridius doesn't really have the trust in this group that he had in the others.
Yeah. Give it time. Give it time. I'm sure Desmond will grow on him. Or
If
something
Desmond
will
tries to grow
on
anything
Desmond.
of his on me, I'm going to cut it off with my Trident.
Desmond will recommend a team building orgy.
Listen, Team Fish Tricks forever. You're gonna love her at some point. Just because of overexposure. It's fine. Oh, that sounded terrible.
And speaking of tricks
So
and
if
maybe
Trix has been
trust issues,
overexposed, does that mean that you're gonna pull a Bowden
No.
moving
No.
forward? You're just gonna
Yeah,
show up
definitely not that
naked in my
character.
room, and I'm gonna be like, "Damn it, what are you doing?"
No, definitely not that character.
Nothing but metal wings and a smile.
oh man,
Oh wait, you can't leave out the wand of magic missiles.
No, it's LaWanda Smiles, man. You should know better.
Oh, I'll never use that wand.
Oh, she has it. Wait, or is it? Does she have both, or does she just have the wand of Scowl?
so speaking of tricks and trust issues, I think Trix, when she came in, she seemed like a pretty confident character, but in the past 7 episodes, I would say her confidence has been knocked down a little bit, and I think the start of that was the interaction with Sylvanor on the airship. You finally cornered him.
Sylvanor? Who the fuck is Sylvanor? Sky?
Sky, yeah. Sorry, that's
Oh,
I think
wait.
that's it. That's his actual name. So Sylvanor is his actual name. Sky is his his
I was gonna say,
nickname
we've never
on this ship.
heard the full name of that dude until right
Well,
now.
now you know.
Now
And
you
knowing's
know.
half the battle.
The secret.
I better
That's the
write
girl
that
secrets, chat.
Sylvanor.
You finally cornered him at the top of the mast of this ship, and he tells you that you're not a fairy, that he doesn't sense the Fey essence on you. And I feel like this is where her world starts to crumble a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, it all started with a message from Diz. How traumatic do you want Trix's backstory to be? Yeah, so now she's found out her entire life is a lie, and she's freaking the fuck out. She's convinced that she hallucinated everything in her life before she met these people because they're still here, so she knows they're real. She was convinced for a while that she wasn't a fairy or a flying creature, and one of the most important things to her is her wings and that she can fly. So she felt wrong and like she didn't have a right to be herself, and it's got her fucked up.
Yeah, I think you even had her walking for just a while, not even using her wings, right? So it's
Yep. Because she wasn't convinced that she was supposed to have them.
So that happens, and then we end up in Port Nyanzaru, this kind of mysterious, hidden, like pirate city that's ruled by 7 trade princes. And you guys immediately get to meet, I would say probably, I'll say the second most charismatic one, because we know who the most charismatic one is. Zorak Alderani. And immediately, when I'm watching the episode, Ellen points out she stops the game just to admire the magnificent mustache this man has.
He did have an excellent mustache.
And he kind of works as kind of your main point of contact here. He puts you guys on a mission. He's missing some goods, and he lets you use some of his resource. Apparently, he has many drivers from all over the globe because they all have different accents. And
also,
then
he's very proud of the mustache.
He's very proud of the mustache.
Quite a feat to grow it. He likes showing it off.
So there's him. There's Silas Brightwater, which my description of him is a walking spreadsheet. That's about his personality.
I said he was Jeff Goldblum.
He's a little Jeff Goldblum, a little bit. Yeah.
He's Jeff Goldblum.
Then Feline Stormcrown, who has some interactions with Desmond and Thorn, and she's interesting.
Yeah, definitely a really, really wonderful pirate who we've never heard of before, ever.
Never. Nope.
Never. No.
And then there's Lyriel Nightshade. I think you guys meet her later in some of the episodes. She seems to be teamed up with Varys Black. Is it Blackthorn? That's weird. Not Blackthorn. Blackthorn.
Oh, with the pedo.
He's the Hans Gruber or the Snape.
He's totally Snape. For sure.
He's such a
Introduce
fucking
me
perv.
correctly, host.
He's a fucking perv.
And then his partner, who's perfect.
Yep. And then there is a sixth one, Azura Ravensong, which you guys have not met, don't know anything about. And then there's Talia Ironforge, who is I don't even know if you know anything about her besides she is missing.
Yep, they have been told that she is missing.
So in all your interactions with all of these trade princes, do you guys have a favorite one or a favorite moment with them?
Do you have a favorite one or a favorite moment with them?
I will abstain.
I have one when Trix was asking why Varys got kicked out of the Mage Tower and somehow offered to outfit his zombie army at some point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She did.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Even as she was calling him a fucking perv.
Mm-hmm. That was a good
So,
one.
Lady, you haven't got to meet a lot of these, I don't think. Maybe just a little bit. Do you have any favorite moments or favorite trade princes?
I did meet Varys and
Lyriel.
What is her name? Lyriel. I did meet them at the warehouse when they went there, and I did meet Zorak. So those are the three that I think I've personally met. Honestly, I love all of them. They're all really unique. Like the accents have been so good, Clan. Like you've done so good with them. I think the most that I've interacted with though would be Zorak, just because of where I've come in at. So, I think he's a character for sure. He's a definitely like a showman and like boastful, and you can tell like he likes to show what he has and like all that stuff. You can really get that vibe from him. So I do enjoy Sirach. I'm very interested to see like where that goes, but without being here for super long, like that's just the one I've interacted with the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think we'll see more of Zorak maybe, later. Like, I don't think this is the last what we'll see of him, but,
Oh, no.
Buck, do you have any
good at doing that voice?
Favorite moments or just favorite trade princes or?
You are aware that except for with Feline, I have gotten in the face of every trade prince that we have met so far.
I know, but Meridius enjoys those moments, so that's.
No, this is not JD. JD enjoys the fuck you moments. Meridius is to the point that he's not trusting a single one of these bastards. Because every one of them is shifty and fucking deceitful and ain't giving anybody the full story about a damn thing. And he don't like any part of that.
Very shifty, all of them, right? They're playing some game.
And which is why when Zorak got the tone he got with Trix, Meridius stepped between him and was like, like right in his face, like, I don't give a shit if we're going to get in a fight right here. Like, you're not going to talk to one of my people like that just because you didn't give us all the information that you fucking wanted us to have.
And it's because he secretly likes Trix. He secretly enjoys her.
And honest about what the fuck was going on, then maybe we wouldn't have done it. Like, was Meridius's mindset. So he's like, if you're going to half-ass tell us shit, then don't expect us to not investigate what the hell's going on.
Yeah. and our DM, how did you like? I came up with the images and some of the descriptions for these guys, and but you kind of created their voice and their personality. So what did you go about? Like, how did you come up with these different? And do you regret that now you've used the Snape voice and cannot use it again on another character?
No, I do not regret it. I feel like Varus would definitely have that voice.
Okay.
He hates everything. Well, the first thing I do is I look at their picture. Look at their face. And then I look at, like, you know, the little bit of kind of, this is what this person does. And I kind of put those together. The first thing to do is like find their personality, and that leads to their voice. So like Zarok, from the list of trade princes that you gave me, it was like, okay, Zarok seems to be the one that is the leader, at least for now, of the trade princes. Like, that wasn't a given, that was nowhere in here. But Zarok, for me, seemed to be like the leader, or at least he thought he was. And so, you know, it's in Port Nyanzaru, it's a different country. I figure he's in this pirate town, so he's like confident and charismatic, and, you know, but like, I picture Zarok being the rogue with a heart of gold type of character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I played him off. Is that, yeah, he is a pirate. He's done bad things to get to where he is, but he's not proud of it. But if he can help you do something good, he will.
Might make him feel a little better about what he's done.
Exactly. Yeah. He will always try to do good if he can.
Mm-hmm. And Silas, I think Silas was a given for you. Like, he was just going to be,
well, as soon as I looked at him, I was like,
he's straight
Jeff
to the
Goldblum.
Point. Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm going to play him like Jeff Goldblum is playing a character over here. So that's what I did for him.
Why didn't you play him like Diz was playing the character? Like the real Diz. You said he was a spreadsheet.
That's true. That's true. I guess I should have done that.
Because that is Diz.
I do like spreadsheets.
He does like spreadsheets.
Okay,
that is true.
Fun.
And then Thaleen, I mean, she was interesting.
She's a horny individual.
Thaleen is interesting. Once again, there was a picture and a blurb.
Yeah.
And what a picture.
And I'm just like, she looks like she's just a fucking barrel of fun.
Yes.
So I made her just, she's big, she's boisterous. She's, you know, she doesn't care what she does. Either you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. It doesn't matter to her. She's there to have fun. She is literally the walking, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I have a question for Diz about that, though. Before Clan came up with Thaleen and what she would be, did he know who she is?
Mm-hmm. Does he even know what she is now?
Yeah. Like,
how much do you know of Thaleen so far, Clandiesel?
I know enough.
You know enough. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I
think he knows.
Out one night.
You have told me enough, and then I used some of that information. If you remember, Thorn read some of her diary, but he didn't share that information with the party. But some of that information that I know that was given to me by Diz about Thaleen, Thorn knows. I love it.
I'm remembering what you told him was in the diary, and
just
well, you don't know because I sent it as a DM.
Oh, you sent a
Discord.
separate thing. Okay.
I didn't say it out loud.
At some point, we do plan on crossing these campaigns over, so there will be possibilities of interactions. and information changing hands.
I
So
can't promise she's gonna survive.
That's
That's
okay.
all I'm
You
saying.
each have to pick a character to die.
ooh.
Mine already did though. Doesn't that count?
No. Gotta do the true death, Suki.
But she did do the true death. She just made a deal.
Deals are made to be broken.
So the whole thing
Oh.
with Desmond and Thorn and Thelene, that
Yeah.
was not planned.
That was me.
And I was actually trying to pull Desmond back out of it, and Mario was just like, "No, you're coming with me."
Mario was all about it. Yep,
I'm like,
Mario was all about
all
it.
right.
Listen, if there's a big titty pirate bitch, you gotta.
Exactly. Plus, it was like my first episode or second episode DMing, and I was like, I have to do something different. You know, it was like there's a changing of the guard. I have to do something different. I have to do something that I think everybody will have fun with. I will gauge it if it seems like they're not having fun or somebody's uncomfortable. Then I know not to go there. We'll tone it down, and I know not to go somewhere like this again. You know, but I'm hoping everybody realizes this is just stupid fun.
Yeah,
for everybody to have.
There's a lot of things I'm uncomfortable about right now.
So luckily it worked out for me that everybody did have fun with it. So I was really glad about that, because that's been my biggest thing the entire time taking over, is that I think you've noticed this, and I'm sure everybody else has too, is I'm kind of lax with the rules on stuff. Like, I will override a rule if it helps you have fun with your character, or if it helps you improve the story. Then I'm fine with that. I'm not going to let you get superpowers because I just want superpowers. But if it means you want to do this and your character and it'll have fun, go for it.
If it
right?
means
That's what we're
Trix
here
has
for.
60 seconds to pull a heist.
Exactly. The 60 seconds. Yeah, like, you could do this, but you got 60 real seconds to do it. But it was fun.
I thought that
I
was
was so
I liked
stressed.
it.
I was
really
so
trying
stressed.
to look around and be like, okay, I got 60 seconds to search this office. Oh shit. So, you know, that's what I care about, is just everybody having fun. And sometimes we have a little too much fun. Like last time, I think I made Russ piss his pants like 3 times.
That's the best moments.
That is the best moments. Yeah. So yeah, I just want everybody to have fun.
So at the Leans, we have Thorn, who finds some information in a journal. And then while he's out wandering about, he walks past a room and sees Desmond completely naked in a room, the door slightly just ajar. Orlando's in there too for some reason, and he's in there doing some type of prayer or something, unusual type of situation. And Thorn, he hasn't brought that up at all. I'm very curious about that. I wish Mario was here, because I'm really curious about what is going through Mario's head in that moment, and you know, has he thought about it since then?
I feel like Mario is going to play it off that he's just going to wait for the right time.
He's always done that.
He's going to wait
so
for a
good at it
time
too.
for Thorn and Desmond to be alone, and he's going to be like, what's up with that?
Yeah. He's
You
so
know,
good at holding on to that info.
Yeah, like I just feel like he's waiting on the most opportune time, that this will be a good time to do it. Like, you guys are on watch or something.
I think Thorn as a character kind of has that like information gathering like mentality. Like, even for the few episodes that I've been here, you can see like that Thorn will grab stuff and keep that, like the diary and that stuff, like just keeping that information and soaking it in. And you know, I've always known Rican to like be really good at utilizing those little pieces of information at like the most perfect, like opportune time. So I think it'll be interesting when it does finally come back out. Like, it'll be a very interesting moment.
I think he's playing Thorn. Like, you know, Thorn, if you look at him physically, he's a big fighter guy. You know, he's just a big brute. can put a hurt on you real bad. But I like that Riken's also playing him though. Like there's brain meat in that skull, but
He's not just a himbo.
exactly.
Yeah.
But nobody expects that if they see Thorn. But Thorn's way more intelligent than people give him credit for, or at least wiser than people give him credit for.
I think we're giving him a bit of credit though, because he looks that much more intelligent next to Desmond. He's getting a little bit of credit.
So after that, we kind of get in, and we've touched on this a little bit, but we need to talk about Team Fish Tricks. How did this come about? I know you guys teamed up there because we split the party. And you know me, I love to split the party any chance I get. So in any game. So you guys pair up and you're almost like two detectives, it seems like, trying to gather information for us.
Yep.
So you do run across an NPC by the name of, where is she at? Alaris Glimmerwing. She is like an apprentice wizard, and she tells you of her master, who's apparently the head wizard or something like that, who's gone missing while he was investigating a cult. So, what did you guys think about that interaction?
Trix thinks Solaris is the coolest person ever. She thinks she's a badass.
Buck, any thoughts on Alaris or the missing wizard?
She gave me a bomb.
She
Gave you a
did.
bomb.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she
In the
and
form
she
of
gave
a
me
book.
and she gave me a scroll for copying text.
She
and
did,
she
and she
gave
was
me a
very
pencil, so
generous.
if I ever want to talk to her, I can. So Trix is a fan.
I mean, I feel like I could have
They nerd bonded.
gave one of the trade princes the book and just let them open it without saying anything. But Marius
could
is
have.
not that type of person.
If it were Varys, then she'd probably be fine with it. I'm just saying.
Well, it was definitely Varys. He's the one that wanted to see the book.
Yeah, I don't think she would have been upset.
Yeah.
But Meridius wouldn't have handed that over to anybody and been like, just open it. Because he's not that kind of person.
And that's why Meridius is carrying it and not Trix.
JD, however, would have been like, here, I was handed this, you can read it. And then watch it blow the fuck up in somebody's face. Like, he wouldn't have cared. But,
So any thoughts on this cult that the wizard was looking into?
Yeah, fuck them. We've already killed 7 of their members. Well, 6. The 7th one incinerated themselves.
They absolutely have to be tied to the temple that we're trying to get to somehow. That's they have to be, because the temple we're going to, they told us, was an old temple to a god of the undead. And we're talking about like zombie cultists type shit, worshiping death in this town. It's not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Meridius also has a thought on it that he has not shared with the party.
Ooh. Would Buck like to share?
We were attacked. The group I was in was attacked by these people.
Mm-hmm.
Meridius has already confronted the asshole that's helping these people with these fucking ruins that was hiding behind a dome. So to Meridius, Kolos has something to do with this.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. think we might find out soon if you're right or not. So,
Or maybe, if not Kolos, the one Meridius saw right after or right before Kolos appeared. The second image that was inside of that shield.
guess we will
But he
find
hasn't
out
said
soon.
nothing because Meridius doesn't jump to conclusions and throw out false accusations.
Very meticulous for sure. So you guys were doing that. You guys did get jumped there by those guys on your way to
I
recover
document everything.
Desmond and Thorn. You do. And then when we get the party back together, Keltash actually stays outside and hangs out with a couple of the guards outside. You guys may recognize them as George and Barney, who continually keep showing up in different
them.
parts of this world.
So much.
I need George and Barney fan fiction to tell me how the hell they got from Port Nyanzaru to El Toro.
Yes.
Or are they like Nurse Joy type shit where they're like George and
There's a
Barney's
George and Barney in
everywhere?
every town.
Yeah, I
journey
gotta
of
know. I need
George and
I
Barney.
need this in my life.
I will say there is some storyline behind George and Barney. Okay, so
They're not just a pretty face.
And when did they run into the bird that they may or may not have also called Journey?
Journey, right?
Yep, yep.
Poor Journey.
Uh,
He's so dead. He's gotta be dead.
So Keltash hangs outside with these guys, and during the discussion, the topic of writing a book comes up.
Oh,
Yep.
So, are you guys afraid of what literature may come from this interaction?
Weren't they writing smut?
Yeah,
Wasn't
I think
that
it
what it
was.
was?
I think
oh,
so.
yes, that's great.
With plenty of illustrations. So
Yeah, it was a picture book more so.
it was it was Playboy.
The Kama Sutra, maybe?
It was
No,
Playboy.
it was a picture book of
George and Barney writing the Kama Sutra.
but not as much in
The
Oh,
Georgia
my.
Sutra.
There's not much reading gonna go on with this book.
Like I said, it's D&D Playboy.
Page 10. We're pretty sure this goes here.
I'd say it's probably Hustler. More in depth.
George is Larry Flint.
You guys really should consider just kind of making a funny joke, but it can go on the Patreon for whatever you would like. But you guys should take turns making a page of the book and release a page.
Yep, there you go.
Like Diz would do one, and then the next page would be Clan. And don't tell each other until you release it. And you just gotta keep going.
Just put it
from there.
together.
Don't say anything about the art being bad or good or anything.
All
because
stick
I mean-
figures.
No, this is not.
But to be fair, we
okay.
know
There
who
may be
made which
plans.
page.
And I think Buck's AI can do the artwork.
That's true.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The AI that
Yeah,
know
if
an
Buck's
AI that
AI
can
does the
portray
artwork,
some
I'll take a
images.
copy.
Yeah. Everything gets 3 titties.
Or 10, because
Or
that
10.
happens.
Yeah. It's a horse with 7
It makes
titties.
9 at a time, chat. Whatever I ask it to do.
So that happened, of course, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that later. And then some other things happen, and we end up in front of the Temple of Lathander, and this is where the doors open up, and a very pretty lady is thrown out into the street in front of us, and that is our new companion, Faye. So, do you want to share anything more about, tell everybody why she might think that she was kicked out, or why something that we don't want to give away too much, I guess, but
Yeah. So
any more
obviously, as a
insight?
player, there's so much. This is probably with this character. I'm so excited to play this character because there is so much that can happen. But I've left a lot of it up to chance. I've left a lot of it up to DM discretion. I've left a lot of her knowledge. She doesn't know a lot. Like you'll know as you meet and get to know Faye. Faye doesn't remember a lot of things. She doesn't fully understand who she is. And a lot of the journey with her is really going to be her figuring out who she is outside of that temple, because that temple is everything she's ever known, or that she can remember. So for her, that moment, like when I got to come in, and it was just a very dramatic moment of her crying and yelling, and that's how she felt, because she literally lost everything she knows. So when she meets the party, she's just like, I don't, I guess I'll go with you and help you with this thing. I have some information about this person, but like I don't even know where I'm gonna go, because it's where she's always been. So there's and I think it'll be really cool, because the characters are gonna try to get to know her, but she doesn't even know her.
She's going to be learning about herself as they learn about her. So.
Yeah. So it'll be a very interesting dynamic with, I think, these characters, because her personality, to give you like an idea of who she is a very good-hearted person. Obviously, she's in the Temple of Lathander. She wants to do good. She believes in the god Lathander, and all of that stuff. That's all she's ever known. So she's very attached to the church in terms of like the goodness of it. But she's also like, you'll start to learn, she's very charismatic. She's very personable. And you'll notice that she maneuvers well around people. And I think that's part of what kind of kept her going. And I think it's kind of going to be what drives her to continue outside of the church. Like her having those abilities to be charismatic and kind of talk to people, I think will allow her to kind of not think about losing all of that as much, and maybe kind of branch out into the world.
I'm excited to let Desmond get to know her, and not like that. Just
she is very pretty. Like
you can't tell me he's not thinking about it.
Well, he rushed over there immediately.
Exactly. We all know that's why those two were the first ones to go over
in his
there.
head, he was like Snagglepuss. He just walked by and saw this lady come out this door. He's like, heavens to Murgatroyd. Hot babe,
I mean, she's very
stage
pretty,
left.
like golden white robes. Like she has long blonde hair, and she just like has this essence about her that kind of radiates beauty.
Yeah, which is why the two horn dogs were the first ones
And
to
Desmond
go say hi.
Radiates sleaziness. It's just
Sure.
Complete opposite. And then Meridius jumps in there to defend kind of her honor. I guess that's what you had in mind.
I walked up to figure out why the hell someone would get thrown out of a temple. And then, after I heard that fucker open his mouth, then it was game on, because that is not how you should address anybody. Because at that point, Meridius was pissed. He was angry that any type of religion would do that to anybody. And then when the so-called head of the order calls her trash and tells him to take their trash away, that's when Meridius is like, well, step out here and I will. Like, referring to that dude as the one he's going to take the trash out of. And then Meridius gets the whole party excommunicated from Lathander's temple. And like Meridius cares with Bahamut on his chest. Like, he doesn't give a shit about that temple.
Yep.
But he was ready to punch that dude in the face.
Which is so interesting, because she's still like, you're gonna see, like, she's still going to cling to that religion, and she could have easily thrown her holy symbol away, but she didn't.
I mean, there is a new church taking members.
Oh, jeez.
Not a church, it's a fucking cult.
It's not a cult.
It's
just because we saw Spoofy playing, or Rolly rather, aka Spoofy.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I've
after
seen some of your members. It's a cult.
yeah. After that, you guys kind of cleaned up the issue with the missing goods, and apparently Varys and Lyriel had taken the goods, but just to protect them. So, you probably can't believe them. So they were probably just trying to steal them. That's what I think. So.
Well, I mean, if they were standing in the zone of truth and lying, then that's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
So after that, Zarok gives you a new kind of quest to go on, and it is to complete the Gauntlet of Champions to acquire a little silver locket. And so immediately as you guys show up at the Gauntlet of Champions, you see some of the other participants, one of which is an older elf by the name of Xanfer, and then a younger tiefling by the name of Atreus. You guys might recognize those names from the other campaign, one of which was Mario's character from the other game before he had to bow out of that one.
Also, respect to Xanfer for still clinging on to tiefling lust after 1,000 years.
Right, yeah. He knows what he likes.
He does. He's got a type and he goes for it.
And he can't have the original, so he goes for something else. So
he goes for extra crisp.
And then Desmond walks over and notices a plaque on the wall, and he's just scanning the names. And there's a name that just kind of jumps out at him a little bit, but he can't recall why. And it's the name of Scyther, who apparently was one of the champions of this at some point in time in the past. So he kind of notices that, but can't put his finger on it. And even Orlando doesn't have insight into who this person is. So
Orlando
only
knows
a
everything.
halfling would have been there when you saw it.
He's tapped in. We know.
He is tapped in. So I do have a question here. What about those riddles?
Oh my God.
Fuck those riddles. Fuck those riddles.
I want to clarify right now. I had
So bad.
nothing to do with those riddles.
I mean,
bad.
you're the one who read them out loud to people. So it does sound like you had everything to do with them.
I mean, the bottle and the book were like, okay, like not too bad, right? Like those like made sense. You had to think about it a little bit. The fire one had me almost pulling my own hair out because, like, I know Ellen wasn't 100%. I was kind of out of it, and I'm like trying to think of all the possible things that fire. Do you have it? Reread it. Reread it for the chat if you have it. You should pull it up and read it.
Let's see.
Fucking bullshit.
It made no.
It did.
sense.
It made absolutely.
A couple of them didn't make a lot of sense.
The mirror
the
one
fire
also
one-
didn't make sense to me
Yeah,
either.
on the fire one, I'm pretty sure I kept saying just these two sentences.
Yeah.
The first two lines.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. For the mirror, it is my face is cold, my heart is stone. I guard the gates where secrets are shown. To pass through me, leave behind your name. For I'm both door and keeper in this game. What am I? I have no idea how anybody would come up with mirror.
The first part made
But I think
Somehow
somebody
Russ
did.
did. Somehow Russ did. I don't know how the
I
fuck
don't
he
know.
got there.
I think Russ is smarter than all of us. So.
I think he's a savant when it comes to riddles.
Yes,
I mean-
apparently.
Riddles, he's very good at.
Me and Russ were bouncing almost every
I
one
know,
of the
you
answers
guys
back
were
and forth the
all
entire
over.
I'm
time.
normally decent at riddles. These were
Same.
fucking insane.
But like when he called the fire one, I sent Clan immediately like, "This is the answer," and Clan's like, "The fuck?" He looked
And
at me
then-
like, "How'd you even know that?"
Then the
Oh.
flame one is I'm not alive yet I grow. I lack lungs yet yet need air to show. Which this is where the clues end.
That would make
This
sense
one.
to me. I would have thought
That's
fire.
where the clue ends. Then it goes in darkness I wither and die, bright as a beacon up to the sky. What am I?
Where
After
does
the
that say
first two
fire?
sentences, It has nothing to do. It's just random bullshit.
Personally, when you read the second part, like I started thinking like something like a cloud or a star or something that was like related to fire or the sky in general.
Yeah.
But I was just like, even then, I was like, it still doesn't like fully make sense. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Digital thought it was a wave, and then I think that was a
I
better
would have
answer.
accepted
Right?
that at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But
it was
also,
bad.
let's talk about how everybody had to do like one skill check, and we had 3 riddles we had to get through.
Not
That
just
is
3
true.
riddles, 3 of those fucking riddles.
Yes,
That is
I was like,
true,
wait a
yeah.
minute, hold on, like, damn.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Yeah.
Tim, the one that Tim and whoever, I think it was, I don't remember who did it with him, literally took 5 seconds.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
literally just
It
jumped.
took
no.
the time for them
Yes,
to
sorry.
roll the dice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
When you all guess the answer to the first riddle, you're like, yeah, and I was like, all right, now for the second riddle. And I can
We were
just
like,
see the just all joy would leave your face. You were like,
We
there's
were like,
more.
oh no.
When you
Oh,
said the third
no.
riddle, I think the stress between Ellen and I's faces was probably at 100% because I was just like, Jesus Christ, how many more of these can we almost fail? Like, how much more are we gonna have? Like, I hope this is it because if not, we're so screwed.
During the first one, and it was like, I could never guess this. That's why I implemented the okay. So you all can trade
Trade.
in one of your answers for a new riddle if you want to.
Oh yeah, thank God, because that was rough.
I mean, I was trying to be
Oh, my
subtle with the
God.
bottle because I like had my beer bottle in my hand and I was like,
I knew that one immediately.
Oh, I knew bottle.
that one was
That
easy.
one was-
well, no, I the look on y'all's face, I figured you had it, but like with Chad, I was like this is the answer.
So
This is the
we all made it through that as a group,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to the last room, and it's a colossus that we have to find. This humongous thing, and I don't even think you described it to us really, but this thing was probably 50 foot tall. It looked humongous. It was like 40 feet across. So
He's a big boy.
can't imagine. But we took it out pretty quickly. And Clan learned that usually the people I play with in D&D are very efficient at building damage dealing characters.
I was gonna
Yes.
shatter that motherfucker in my next turn. I'm just saying. You said he was stone. Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, there was
I am not a damage dealer, chat, in this one.
the next encounter will not be so lucky.
Yeah.
He's
People
learned.
will
I am-
die.
I
am
need
the
my
tank
dice to
of all tanks.
Love me again first.
But I am not a damage dealer.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
will
how-
In the first 3 fights we ever had in the game, I never even landed a single blow.
Oh.
Gust of wind and fucking fog cloud were what I used, or marine layer were the things I
Yes.
used to let the party kill
The-
everything.
The next
Crowd
big
control.
encounter will have double the hit points and
Please no
numerous
petrification.
numerous
Double the
layer
pain.
actions.
No
double the
saving
pain.
throws.
Yeah.
No saving
And
throws. It
lots of,
never ends well for me.
Lots of automatic hit area of effect spells.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
had a
please.
question, lady?
Oh,
Just for that
yeah.
24 AC.
Yeah.
Specifically to Clan, because we kind of skipped over it a little bit. Was our 3-question complaining did we get a part of a result for when I completely just decimated Desmond in the persuasion challenge?
Hey, I didn't want to talk about that one. I didn't want to talk about that.
He's like,
good.
I wrote the questions. We don't talk about it.
I've
Yeah.
asked the question.
Yeah, those that was good because that whole encounter was, you come across a group of NPCs that are having a dispute, and you have 2 options. You can either help, resolve the dispute, or you can try to get, one side over to your side. And so that was it. That was all you had to do. Is persuade. Well, here
We
comes
cheated the
Faye,
system.
We did.
Who
we
is like-
did.
Desmond's like, well, I'm going to step up and do this because Desmond's charismatic, right? Well, then Faye steps up and is like, I want to do this too. Okay.
I like
And
the
then I
scene
think-
there as
Yeah.
me and Buck say that we step forward at the exact
Yep.
same time, and I just say we look at each other like, what? And then Faye's like, I step up too. I'm like, what?
I imagined in my mind, you guys step up and are standing there, kind of looking at each other,
Yeah.
and then
You know each
between
other.
you comes Faye. Like, no,
Faye
I'll do
pushes
this.
us apart.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you get
And
to first
then-
kind of see like her charisma too, because she was very quick to be like, "Let me see what you
Yeah.
got," you
Yeah.
know.
So then you guys try to persuade each other. She wins,
Mm.
which completes the task. She was able to persuade you to her side. So I
Yeah.
was like, to me, that completes the challenge. And that's what I did. I was like, all right, you win.
I had to know if it was because
The
we complained
door
about the three
appears.
questions.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "What?" I was like, "You persuaded the someone else. You did the challenge. Congratulations." So it was definitely a creative solution to the problem.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the party becomes champions of the Gauntlet of Champions. A little repetitive.
Yep.
And then we get to go into the treasure room. And so what did you guys think about the treasure room? Because it had something for each of us to be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be something different in there for me, Diz. I'm not going to say what it is, but you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh man. It wasn't hard for Trix to walk away from what was in there.
I think it was the
In
knowledge more
general.
than anything for Trix that she
Right.
couldn't like take it with her.
Right.
The thing was
Like,
spooky.
yeah, it wasn't so much she wanted that because she's confident in her abilities and that given the time and materials she might be able to do something like it. It was just that she couldn't take the knowledge of it with her.
I thought it was interesting that the characters that I thought would be most tempted to take something out seemed to be kind of okay with like disregarding them. And I feel like Faye might have, I don't know this, but I'm curious, did you think she had issue with leaving those Kopeshes because she touched them and had an interaction there?
So when it comes to the Kopeshes, I kind of had to think about her backstory quite a bit when it came to these because when you look at the Kopeshes themselves, to her they're likely just weapons, and obviously she recognized them in a way. They're obviously very noticeable from her religion, but to her, I don't think it was. In the end, I don't think it was the temptation of taking the weapon. I think the real temptation was what she got when she touched them. Was the vision that she saw and the unknown and not knowing who that person was and kind of like that information of them saying that they're always there because now she doesn't understand or doesn't know. But I think the one thing that maybe you did notice is in the first episode she asked you a question. Do you remember what the question was?
Asked Desmond a question?
Mm-hmm. As she was going to bed that night, I had Clan roll for who was in the room next to her.
Yes.
And Faye asked Desmond a question before going to sleep.
I don't know if I remember right off. I remember there was an interaction there.
Do you remember the question, Clan?
I bet I wrote it.
He's like, hold
I don't know
on.
if I wrote it down.
I don't remember the question, no.
I don't know if I wrote it down.
So the question was about somebody being good, right? She was kind of asking a question if you believed that so long as somebody was trying to do good, can they be good?
Oh yeah, can they be good? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment in the room, she came for a reason. She promised to bring back a locket. And for her and her mentality and who she is, she will always try to do the good or the right thing. So even though that was there and there was the temptation and something that she might have wanted to know, she had already committed to doing this for a purpose. So for her, it was easy to, after the thing, like, one, it hurt her. Obviously, I think you guys all realize that it hurt her tremendously. But secondarily, she made a promise. She knew that that was what she was there to do. So to walk away might have kind of sucked a little bit, but at the same time, like, she is on the vision of, this is the good thing to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's why you saw her at the door, blocking the door. Nobody's come. Like, you will have to get through me. That's, no matter how it is, however you want to try. If you miss a step, whatever it is, she was going to at least attempt to stop whoever it was from taking out anything but the locket.
Yeah, I thought that interaction was very interesting. That was all Clandiesel over here, the room of treasures. So, how did you come up with this mindset? Did you just I guess you didn't want to make it easy for them, right? So
I didn't want to make it easy, and I wanted like the classic old school treasure room, right? Where they're here to get something, but I wanted something in there that each of them would be drawn to. That there would be a
Cave of Wonders.
temptation. Right, exactly. It's the cave. It's something that you will be drawn to. And I made sure each one of them had an item that I thought would appeal to them. Meridius there was a full plate of armor sitting there made out of platinum fish scales, and it had the Bahamut holy symbol from his domain. So not only is it a holy item, a holy relic from his religion, but it's home. Right? It's something from his home. So he would like that. Plus, how did it get here? What's the story of how this got here? You know, with Trix, she's an artificer. She likes guns. So why not give her a big ass magic Gatling gun?
She wants it so bad.
You know, with Spoofy, it was.
And to be honest, if we'd have walked out with that Gatling gun, it would have been worth it to see her firing that thing.
Listen, she repeatedly asked for volunteers, her around but no one did.
Yep. Yeah, it would have been fun.
She has the strength of 8, so it would have been entertaining to watch her try to fire it.
Yeah. So Spoofy had forbidden knowledge. You had the golden Kopeshes, and you got to have the interaction with the mysterious man.
That hurt me. Yeah.
That hurt you real bad. Yeah, that hurt you real bad. Desmond had the cloak, the fanciest cloak that he had ever seen, quite possibly the fanciest cloak in the world. And Orlando had comfortable shoes, and Keltash had a mirror. But there was a trick to that mirror, and I'm not sure if it was ever told or anything about that, but the mirror could let you see anything that you wanted to. It was like the traditional magic mirror. If you thought about something, it would show you what was happening to that thing at that exact time. And then
all we heard on that one was that he saw his sister, but that's as far as it went because he never got up to investigate after Meridius hurt his feelings.
No, he didn't. But that was the thing. He saw his sister, which is the thing that he wanted to see most of all. And then Thorn had a deed. So, which would have made him, if he had took it and went home, it would have made him the most powerful man at his home, from where he's from.
I hope we learn more about Thorn because I really want to know why that's important to him. So
he's an international.
That was why I liked it.
So Thorn came in as my character Desmond came in. So I have no idea about anything about Thorn. Like I have not written any storyline for him or anything. So that's all between Mario and Clandiesel there. So I'm getting to learn that as we go. So we ran this pretty long. There's one question left. There's one thing that happened at the end of that episode. Trix gets the locket and uses it. And she asks who took her wings. And the lady in the locket gives her an answer of Momar Viggs. And I don't think anybody's heard the name yet. So this is one of those moments where it's just like information that is just out of the blue, and our DM just leaves us, and that's
And there he goes.
He's like, yeah, this ran too long. See you later. Now, so Ellen, what did you think about that? I mean, there wasn't so much. I don't know if that was more trauma or that was probably more therapy, finding something out.
Drive.
The second that Trix figured out what that locket did, there was no question that she was going to ask it. And while, yes, her family and her past is important to her, her wings are the most important thing above all else. They are part of who she is. It was why the suggestion that she wasn't actually a fairy hit her so hard. So for her, when Meridia said that it looked like someone had purposefully removed her wings rather than it being an accident like she thought, oh, she's taking that shit personal. Like, that is the first thing in her mind. Secondary is, where the hell did I come from? But before anything else, she wants to know who the fuck touched her wings.
She wants vengeance.
Yeah.
Is that what she's after? Okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I can see that.
Because yeah, that's someone who, while she may not know the details of the experience and how she lost them, that loss is still something that is very powerful to her. That
mutilated her being.
Right. And she plays it off like, yeah, I've just got these cool wings. But to her, it hurts because, yeah, she knows that it's that thing that she lost. Look, it's a clan on his phone.
On his phone. Uh-oh.
You lose internet?
Clan is me. Clan is me. No, that was funny.
Yep, the internet died.
Well, I'm surprised mine didn't, since we live
watch out.
kind of near
There's
each other.
planned maintenance until 4:30, apparently.
Ruh-roh.
All right, so we got to wrap this up. It ran way over than what I thought it would, and in future episodes, we will only be covering one episode instead of 7. So I should be able to keep it within 30 to 45 minutes of a time frame.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
It's fine.
Depends on who's here.
I mean, I have fun just talking about this stuff, but I can talk about D&D day and night, and I just kind of, this stuff runs through in my head, and I have to get it down on paper and share it with everybody. Otherwise, I'll go insane. So any chance I get to talk about it is good. All right, so we'll just go around the table and let everybody tell about what they do on their own streams and what they got coming up, and then we'll figure out how we're going to do this next time, because I don't think we'll have everybody. We may have like 2 or 3 people in here, and we may pre-record it, put it on YouTube or stream it. We'll see what everybody thinks and kind of go from there. Double Up Buck, you should be streaming some more tomorrow. I think I saw you streaming today a little bit.
Yeah, I was doing Art Survival Sim today, and I'll have it again tomorrow. And then Wednesdays we'll do World of Warcraft. And then on Friday we'll do 7 Days to Die. And we do all that at 10 a.m. Central Time on those days. And then on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month, we do my homebrewed D&D campaign of Edar Realm of Dragons, where 2 Saturdays from now, somebody's going to get hurt. And I'm not mentioning names. It will
Is it
all
Rowley?
depend on
Is
how
it
it plays
Rowley?
out.
It's probably Rowley.
It's probably Rolly.
And
All
that'll
right.
be at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yep.
8 p.m. Eastern.
I was waiting on
Thank you.
somebody. All right. And we have another streamer with us, Lady Chaotic.
Hola, hello, I'm Lady K or Lady Chaotic. I'm sure you guys have seen me plenty of times on this channel at this point. But I do obviously I do D&D with all of these lovely people, Sundays and Saturdays, alternating weekends. But during the week and on Sunday mornings, I do my own streams. Tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. I do GTA roleplay, and I do that as well on Thursday. So Tuesday, Thursdays are GTA roleplay. Sundays have been my kind of escape from everything, so it's just whatever I feel like doing. Lately it's been Apex, but I kind of like got this weird itch to play something else, and I might download Smite too. I might actually like commit. So, God forbid I create a new addiction again. But we might be playing some of that on Sunday at 11 a.m. Look at that shaking of the head right there.
Stardew 1.6 is live as of today on Switch.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've been in like a rut when it comes to games outside of GTA roleplay and RP in general for D&D. So like I'm just like I need something different, and I'm all over the place right now. So
You
I'm
need
like,
to get WoW
okay.
finished. That's why
I've
I'm
been-
shaking my head.
Listen, I went up 10 levels today. Shh.
I saw you playing it earlier.
I'm not gonna talk about the WoW, okay?
And
We
besides
definitely gotta
WoW,
talk
there's
about
always
this.
Conan Exiles.
It's pronounced Conan Exiles.
Or Dark and Lighter. I mean, Dark and Darker. I've been playing that too.
There you go. You don't
Or
say
Dark and Light. You want to play
You're
Dark and
gonna give-
Light?
You're going to
Yeah.
give Diz a condition.
I'm sorry.
It's such a fun game for like an hour or two. You're bored. All right, and just to wrap it up, me and Clandiesel, we are Nerdicopia Network, and we stream about 2 or 3 times a week. The next stream we have coming up will be on Thursday with 3 Old Men, where we team up with Double Up Buck, and that happens at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's just where we talk about random nerdy topics or things from yesteryears, or what's our favorite Little Debbie cake, which apparently is the Christmas tree, and it's out right now, so you can get those.
After Thanksgiving, there should be a best Christmas movie episode.
Yes.
After Thanksgiving.
So we want to do a Christmas one shot, hopefully, so of D&D at some point. So
well, actually, I have some plans for that that I need to run by you before we bring them up to the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. We didn't get to do the Halloween one, so I would love to do a Christmas one shot at least. So the other streaming we usually do Super Retro Game Show on Monday nights at 10:30, but this Monday we did After the Roll. I'm sure next Monday we'll get back to playing The Wind Waker. We're getting close to the end of that game. And let's see, we have D&D this weekend on Sunday, I do believe, at 7 p.m. So we'll have these guys and some other friends join us for some D&D action at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Of course, we have all of the socials and Discord that you can join, and we're required by law to have merch, I think, and all these things that we have to do as a streamer, you know. So I think that's right? And then the only liches, of course.
Yeah, but now remember, the only liches be for those sexy bitches.
Only for the sexy bitches.
That's right.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to rush through everything, but we did run this pretty long, and I do want to get off here so everybody can go to bed, and some of us have to work tomorrow. So, thanks for joining us, and we will hopefully do this again and see you next time. And I don't have a catchphrase, so so we'll just see you next time. Later.